What's up, YouTube? It's the Hood Trucker Show, and I am the Hood Trucker, and I'm getting my water in. Matter of fact, the one that Kwame Brown hates. The title to this video is "To the Kwame supporters, any excuse is better than none." And if you see the thing shaking like an earthquake, it's because I'm getting loaded. I had to make a video. I had to make a video today because I saw something today that I don't think I've ever saw before, seen or saw. And I had to make a video about it because, okay, there's an R word that rhymes with basism, and I don't want to say it, but I'm pretty versed on that, right? Because I get the R word from Mexican people, I get it from black people, I get it from white people. Sometimes I get it, from Chinese, and pretty much everybody. But the one group of people that I can't, in my 50 years of on this earth, I can't remember ever receiving any of the R word from them is a multiracial or a biracial person. I don't think I've ever received it from that, and I'm pretty versed on the R word because I get it so much from everybody, every sector of every pretty much every ethnicity, right? So I'm pretty versed on what that looks like. But today was weird, man. I couldn't even understand. Like, but this particular person is a youngster, right? So I'm not gonna roast this person because just like when you're training dogs to fight, um, you're not supposed to put the dog in a situation to where it's gonna break its spirits. So in that sense, I mean, and I've never fit fought dogs, but I know people that do. So in that sense, I don't really want to come at these particular people. I think it's multiple people, but today was one that was incredible in particular. I don't want to come at this person and break their spirits or be like like I do Kwame Brown. I roast that dude. I don't want to come at this youngster like that. And the reason is, a the male brain doesn't develop until like 25, right? Also, if you're like mid 20s, mid to late 20s, you haven't really experienced life yet. Like I had a coach that used to tell me when I want to when I was new to the team, and he said, and I forgot what I was saying though, but I must have been something stupid. And he said, "You haven't pissed a drop in this program yet. just just keep quiet." And I'll never forget that, right? Because he said a few more choice words than that, right? So if you're in the 20s or something, you haven't pissed a drop in life yet. Like, okay, you got a cool little car, you got a bank account, you got a couple credit cards or whatever, you got a nice girlfriend, whatever the case, you ain't lived life yet. So, you know, so I'm not gonna attack you like I would attack an old head, right? Because an old head should know better. Um, a youngster is still learning. So therefore, I'm not gonna put the same weight, on a youngster that I would on a whole head, right? So therefore, I'm not gonna roast you. But what happened today is this, and before I get into the story, this is exactly why they say if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Let me say that again. If you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Uh, Kwame Clown over there. Oh, by the way, he's now known as Drunk Nephew. Drunk Nephew over there will tell you that you need to learn trades and codings more than you need to learn about Christopher Columbus. Remember what I said? If you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. History is not just Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus, him saying that gives you a particular picture, but you should know your history. You should learn your history, because again, if you don't know it, you're doomed to repeat it. Right? Here's why that's important. Okay, I'm gonna give you a hypothetical situation. Let's say a person is half black, half white. Let's say another person is half black, half Mexican. Okay, hypothetical situation. Let's say the half black, half white person disparages a person because part of their heritage is Mexican, so that you can discount whatever the person says by saying he's Mexican. Therefore, we shouldn't listen to what he says. Even though he's half black and half Mexican, I'm going to focus in on the Mexican part, because now I can disparage him and try to disqualify his comments by saying he's a Mexican guy. You know where that comes from? That comes from your history. Guess what? If you knew your history, you would know that back in the day, or even still today, they would determine ethnicity by how much African American heritage was in your blood. So, for example, if you were half white and you were half black, in their eyes, you're black. If you're half black, half Mexican, in their eyes, you're black. Guess what this hypothetical biracial person did? They did the exact same thing. You know why? Because you probably doesn't know your history. And because the reason why I say that, because if you knew your history, you probably would understand why you shouldn't do that. Because again, I didn't choose to be multiracial. I didn't choose to be black. I didn't choose to be Mexican. That they chose me, right? So when you and I had to choose. You can't necessarily live both sides of the fence, especially if you get in trouble and have to go to prison. You can't. You can't. You can't eat with the blacks and eat with the Mexicans. You got to pick a side. I listen. The way I grew up. I've pretty 98.7% of the women I've dated have been black. Identify with more with my black side than my Mexican side. I don't ignore it, but I don't really embrace it. And some of that is that although I get uh, the R word, right, from a gamut of different segments of ethnicity, or wide range. I don't know if gamut is the right word, but wide range, right? I get a lot from my Mexican side. Do you know, like, when a Hispanic person approaches me and they speak Spanish to me, and I say no habla español? Do you know what the reaction is? It's like I just farted. That's I that's the reaction that I get. So in the same token, right? You got people that say he's the Mexican trucker, and it's not just this one uh, biracial person that said it. It's multiple people that said it. And you know what? You know what that is? It's called a cop out. Because just like Kwame Brown can't fathom a hardworking black man, because he says, "I knew you wasn't black because you was hardworking." So you can't understand a hardworking black man that looks like me. In that same way, you can't fathom a biracial person that identifies with their black culture to speak in intellectual terms. Apparently, I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know what it is, because he says that's the Mexican trucker. Not the biracial trucker, the Mexican one. Because you want to exclude me and be able to say he's Mexican, he's not a part of our culture anyway, so we need to push him to the side. That's a cop out. You know who else does that? Jim Crow. You got a speck of black in you, you black. Guess who else couldn't fathom a particular ethnicity intellectually? Do you know why the NFL wouldn't hire African American coaches? Same exact reason. Oh yeah, you've been coaching in the league 30 years, but you're black. We don't even want to hear from you. We don't even think you deserve a position. You don't think you're doing the same thing? But here's the thing. If you're a Kwame supporter anyway, you have to be a hypocrite because, there's a video where Kwame is driving down the street, right? And as soon as he parks, he tells me that I need to focus on, I need to stop driving or need to be resting or something like that. In other words, he talks about me driving while I did a video. He calls me the drunk uncle while he drinks alcohol at 9 o'clock in the morning. So again, you have to be a hypocrite to be a Kwame supporter in the first place. So why wouldn't you be biracial and condemn a biracial person and say, you're not even a part of our culture? Just like the NFL said, you're not even, we don't even want to talk, we don't even want to give you a shot, right? You don't think that's the same thing? Think about it. This is why when ignorant people say you need to learn trades and codes and build your flat platform on finding people jobs and say that history is not important basically because he said you need to learn that better than Christopher Columbus and basing your platform, excuse me, on helping people find jobs and then clown me for finding a job. This dude, listen, again, my water, Ozark water from Texas. This dude said it was the nastiest looking water you've ever seen. Do you know how childish? You've never tasted it? I'm just holding a bottle. You can tell it's nasty. It looks clear to me. You can tell it's nasty that from the bottle. Your hate for me or your vitriol, is that the right word? I don't know. For me, it's so heavy that you could look at a clear bottle of water and say it's nasty. You can look at a biracial person and choose to pick one side of that biracialness and shove it to the side so that you can have an easier way to deal with your own ego. Let me give you another example. I was watching this documentary, and the documentary was about evolution versus creationism, and they interviewed this Caucasian gentleman, right? And he said he believes in creationism because he can't fathom or he doesn't want to believe that he came from a monkey. And you know why that is? Caucasians usually use monkey as a derogatory term against African Americans. So if you use that as a derogatory term towards African Americans, you absolutely do not want to believe that you are, you came from evolution. You don't want to believe that. And so therefore, you will believe in a certain thing that doesn't promote that. Give you another example. Back, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, whatever it was, Macy's tried to put a black Jesus in their nativity scene that they had on display. Needless to say, they vandalized it. I can only assume who vandalized it, right? But they vandalized it. My take on that is this: you would vandalize that because you don't want to fathom you have been worshiping a black man this entire time. You can't even, you don't even want to imagine nothing like that, right? right or wrong. That's why you would destroy it. You don't want even right. You're doing the same thing. You're doing the exact same thing. I mean, I was taken aback. I mean, I was shocked. Like I've never experienced that before. Like we're in the same boat. We're just wearing different clothes, basically. And you choose to exclude me the easy way. Uh, you see, I'm Mexican. It, I can understand why you wouldn't understand maybe that because it's probably not ever going to happen that somebody would exclude your African American heritage and say that you're white because you have a predominant African American, you have predominantly African American features. So it probably won't happen, right? Just in my case, apparently on some days, because some days I get approached different ways, depending on how I dress, depending on how I look, or whatever the case, right? How I wear my beard or whatever. I get both. So maybe that's why. That's why I say I'm not gonna like jump all in the man's chest like that because again, you haven't lived life yet. Like you may think so, and I mean, listen, at 25, I had nowhere near the philosophy about life that I have right now. Right? That's why I'm not going to jump on this cat. I'm not going to say anything disparaging other than what actually happened. And it's not just him. I mean, these people on the comment section. I mean, I roast them because I don't know who you are. If you're anonymous, you don't have a profile picture, yet you got all this stuff to say, and then you discount that and say, "Well, you're a Mexican guy. Get out of here." What am I supposed to do? Just let you be anonymous and just say whatever you want to say? I'm roasting you. Listen, as y'all know, if you come in my comment section, there's a good likelihood I'm going to answer because, uh, you know, if I can get to you, I'm going to let you know how what's on my mind. You gonna get off what you on your mind. I'm gonna let you know what's on mine. So I'm gonna reach out to you. I'm not one of these dudes that let a whole bunch of comments go and they don't say nothing. I try to respond to everybody as much as I can. And I got a smaller channel. I can do that. Maybe when I get bigger, it's going to be less and less of less and less of the people I can get to. And I don't want anybody answering my stuff because I don't listen. I don't want you to say nothing I wouldn't say or nothing like that. If you get an answer, that's me, 100% me. So again, shocking. Just from the standpoint is that's something I've never seen before. Uh, but again, in order to be a Kwame Brown supporter, you have to be a hypocrite. You have to be. You have to be. Um, I mean, because it, I've even seen people like take on some of his verbiage. Mama's cooking. Um, you're gonna get that quicksand. A whole host of different things, right? It was even a young man that said that he saw my video that I did about the grapes, and he said, "Don't nobody want your stolen grapes." When I talk, I say this: it's either my opinion or it's factual. Like I really have video evidence to prove what I'm talking about. Stolen grapes. I don't know where you got that from. These are grapes that nobody wanted. Why would I steal something that nobody wants? The title of the video is I can't give these away. Why would I steal something that I'm trying to give away? Does that make any sense? Oh, but it's a dig though. Any dig is good enough. Any excuse is better than none. Any excuse is better than none. He's Mexican. That's a good enough one right there. We're gonna discount everything he said. That's what you're doing. Because listen, in the comments and even in the remarks, you're not disputing anything that I say of any type of factual basis. You're not disputing anything. You're not disputing the facts. Did Kwame Brown wake up in the morning and drink alcohol? You gonna dispute that? Did Kwame Brown say, let me give you another example too. And because people were saying I was counting boxes. Let me give you another example, right? Okay. Let's say, for example, somebody said they're gonna. Let's say you have a phone bill due, and today's the last day you can pay it, and you call somebody and they say, I'm gonna. You tell them that you need to pay your bill, and it's $100. Can you give me $100? They say, yeah, I'll give it to you. No problem. Okay. And the day goes over, you say, whew, I'm gonna pay my bill today, whatever. Then at the last minute, with 5 minutes left till you pay your bill, and you may have been calling him or whatever, he calls you and he says, I can only give you 25. Aren't you gonna be a little upset? Because this person had told you that he's gonna give you $100, and at the last possible second, he only gives you 25. And if you get mad at him, how would you feel about somebody that says you're ungrateful? You are ungrateful because he gave you the $25. But this person promised you 100, and he was willing to give you something, $25, but your phone about to get cut off, and he didn't do what he said. This person didn't do what they said they was going to do. Now, right? Okay, think of that, and then think about the shoe drive. This man said 6,000 shoes, and y'all gave me a whole bunch of stuff about counting boxes and all that kind of stuff. Even though I commended him for doing something, he didn't do what he said he was going to do, right? If so, in the same scenario, this person said he's gonna give you $100, he only give you 25. Kwame Brown said he's gonna bring 6,000 shoes. It was less than that. Who knows how many it was? It's less. It was less. It was most definitely less than that, right? So people say, at least he did something. Well, at least that man gave you $25 then. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So that's the way I was looking at that. Okay, listen. Why do you say 6,000 and you only bring 100? Let's say there wasn't even 6,000 people there to receive it if you had 6,000, right? Right or wrong? So why would you say 6,000 as opposed to 100? Take a wild guess why you would say 6,000. Because 6,000 sounds so much better than 100 or 200 or 500 or even 1,000. 6,000? 6,000. It's a really nice number. But what actually happened? Something far less. So, in closing, any excuse is better than none. And if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Just understand that. So for the youngsters who can pretty much decipher who I'm talking about, understand this. Much respect, right? I was 25 once, and I didn't know shit when I was 25. You may know more than me. Your brain might be more developed than me, but you can't deny the facts. You can't deny a biracial person dismissing one half of another biracial person. You can't dismiss that. That's a real thing, right? So you can't dismiss it. That's a fact. How can you do that? So that's why I said, much respect to you. You know who I'm talking about. Much respect to you, right? Just understand that I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just trying to point out something, right? Because you're younger than me, so you're a youngster, right? So I'm not gonna try to break your spirits or even do anything to try to disrespect you or anything. That's just what I'm saying is an observation, right? And just understand that some things that you're going through right now, you're gonna look at way different when you're my age. If you even make it to my age, right? You're gonna look at way different. Do I have the same outlook today as I did 25 years ago? Absolutely not. And sometimes in life, you don't understand what's going on until it's going on in your life. You don't understand a lot of what's going on around you until you've lived a little, right? So take it for what it's worth. Sometimes in life, somebody will say something to you today, and that's what that motherfucker was saying. And listen, I've done the same thing. I'm like, man, fuck what you talking about? You tell me shit. Who the fuck is you? And then later on, you be like, I remember that. So hopefully, y'all can grasp onto that. And maybe if you don't get it today, maybe you'll get it, 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now. That's all I'm saying. So with that, like, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit every button on there. Just go like this, just hit buttons over there. And if you want to support the channel, go ahead and go to the Cash App, the PayPal. Links in the description. I get a little commission off the stuff I sell. And with that, enjoy the rest of your day. And we're gonna get back real. Keep it real and real soon. Talk to you later.